There are lots of opinions out there about the effects video games can have, and sometimes these opinions can be pretty extreme. On the one hand, some people will say violent video games cause school shootings. No, they don't. Or that games have no important effects. That's also not true. And the research has started to tell a more interesting, nuanced picture. And so this study is looking at some of the claims about Minecraft and games like it, how they can cause children to become more creative. Is that actually true? And so what we did is we had 352 students here at Iowa State come into our lab, and we randomly assigned them to one of 4 conditions. 2 of them, they played Minecraft, which is a game, basically it's virtual Legos, where you can build anything, be as creative as you want. And they did that for 40 minutes. In a third condition, they played a different video game, a NASCAR racing game, again for 40 minutes, but here it doesn't really allow as much creativity. You're basically driving fast and turning left the whole time. But it's a good control, because if it's something about games, then we should see the same effect there. And then the 4th condition was another control condition where we had them watching a TV show. So it should be equally engaging and interesting, but it doesn't allow for any real participant input. You're just sitting there passively watching. Now, what was different about the 2 Minecraft conditions was, in one case, we didn't give them any instruction. We just told them how to play and then let them play. In another, we thought, well, maybe priming creativity would help them. So we told them, play and be as creative as you can. So we actually gave them an instruction to try to be creative in their play. And then we gave them several different measures of creativity. And the one that showed the most interesting results is called the alien drawing task. This is a creative production task where they're asked to imagine a creature that grew up on a planet very different from ours. What might it look like? And so if it looks very humanoid, it's symmetrical, it has 2 eyes, it has 4 limbs, that's not very creative, because that's what we're used to seeing. To the extent it starts deviating from that, they become more creative, with single eye or no eyes or multiple eyes, not being symmetrical. All of those things are more creative answers. And what we found is that if they played Minecraft, they were much more creative than either of the 2 control conditions, playing NASCAR or watching a television show. The real surprise was, by telling them to be creative, it actually reduced their creativity after the play. They also were much worse than playing Minecraft with no instruction. So it's not just that Minecraft can help induce creativity. There seems to be something else about, actually having the freedom to be as creative as we want. Now, we don't really know why we found this effect with the instruction. Maybe creativity is kind of like a muscle, and they tried really hard in the game and then it was worn out by the time they got to the alien drawing task. Maybe they didn't like being told how to play, and so they were kind of subtly rejecting our instruction and what we were doing. We don't really know. Follow-up studies will have to look at this. But it does look very similar to much of the other game research, that what you practice you can get better at, but in fact how you do it might matter just as much.